And Jojo Pyun, we trust. Honestly, magnificent plays coming out from him. So, you know, one of the main goals for this team at this international tournament was to indeed take notes, and he definitely has. This game, that game was so much closer than the first game. Big strides, I feel like, made even in the series. So let's see what they can do this time around. EG again on blue side, so they again can ban out the Galio of the Gwen. And I think that is very beneficial.
Yeah, we'll see what notes they've taken going into this. But already you can see Lucian and LeBlanc taking off the board. We imagine that we're going to see pretty much the same idea, I feel like, coming through here from RNG. Like, hey, look, we'll leave up the Wukong, the Ahri, see if we can snag one for ourselves. And then in the opposite side, EG, I honestly think going towards the Ahri again is a good shout. Jojo Pyun looked fantastic on that. And you could kind of see that Xiaohu didn't really have an answer.
Will RNG figure out that the Kalista ban last time around was unnecessary, and they've got a little bit of free leeway there to mix that one up?
If that's Kalista, not Ahri, I think it's a mistake. Yeah. Unless I think that, no, we have a way better counter pick ready. Don't worry about it. Who needs Lissandra?
So Danny's Tristana is exceptional. You know, got his super big pentakill 1v9 moments in the LCS. So they have figured it out. Okay, they figured it out.
Yep. But that just means, I think, so, yeah, when I look back at the previous game, just to hyper-focus on the you know, the LCS side of the draft, it's like, he picked full aggro Tristana, or Jinx, right?
Yes.
Went Kraken Slayer for optimal DPS, went heal and not cleanse, so you can't get bursted, because he had a Tom catch.
Yep.
So, you have to kind of peel those layers back and rethink the draft for the bottom lane. Ahri does get locked in, because there's no Tom catch.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they will go to the Jinx again this time around. Because it was the best iteration in the previous round with the Tom Kench. So there will be some adjustments, I think, from the EG side as well. Thus far, though, the trade still has to go through. The Wukong picked up on the other side. No surprise there.
Wukong Xayah, I believe, was 1-2 last time around. Obviously, again, Kalista is up, so they want to play that champion and just crush through bottom lane. Because for what it's worth, like, bot lane hasn't been the pressure point that's won the game. It's been good. Like, RNG has won bottom lane both times, but it's not like, we won bot lane, so we won the game. It's usually we won top lane, so we won the game.
Yeah, or even, you know, getting control of the mid lane and letting Xiaohu kind of get out on the roam. And I definitely agree. I think that's why you're kind of seeing, okay, well, we're going to go towards the gangplank once more. It worked out really well. And you're kind of looking at Impact going, all right, well, what have you got? Because the Ornn, I thought, did reasonably well when we got to team fights, but actually the laning phase didn't go so hot. So you're now at least understanding what you're going into his Impact. And I want to see what his decision here is.
They're flirting with us in the Darius there, Freak. Eyes getting big.
No reason to blind that.
I would love a hard counter pick like that though into the gangplank. I mean, you say like no reason to blind it.
I guess, you're right. He's in a GP. You're right. You're right.
I guess they technically could flex it to mid.
That's unlikely. You're right. Good call.
It's very unlikely, but they're not going to do it. He goes right back to the Ornn. So maybe I was a bit too early in saying that they won't go to the Jinx again without the Tom Kench. Maybe they still will, as they've continued with everything else consistent here with the rest of the draft. But we'll see, because RNG would probably want to snag you know, AD carry here for Gala first, so they can get the pick without the bans coming through.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's going to be the Xayah again, right? At least giving you that mobility, the ability to self-heal. And then I am kind of curious what we see coming through for Danny. I think the Tristana could work out perfectly, although we didn't see it in the last game. I think that's probably your best option, because again, it feels like if you try to play Jinx into this, you're just going to have a miserable time.
So unironically, Locket Senna fits an anti-dive comp.
So last time around they banned it out. Let's see if the next ban is the Senna, because Ezreal, I think would be the way for them to go. Danny's most played here at MSI, and people have been relying, you know, on that range a lot easier. Then it would allow EG to really focus on their top side with some early jungle pressure. So again, it's a smart ban from RNG. We'll see if they do follow it up with the Senna again.
Yeah, but yeah, I think without Tom Kench, it feels like there's not that big of a proclivity. So, I mean, we'll end up having to see what comes through. Second ban needs to come in.
I feel like there are so many options that have been unexplored to pair with the Senna.
Oh,
so
totally
like,
agree.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'm hoping for it. Yeah. The Vladimir, unironically, was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you've now got to kind of go, all right, well, if we can get something that can at least give Vulcan a little bit more wiggle room in the bot side, I think it could be great, because Vulcan in some of these fights last game was crucial. We got that predict on the engage from Ming that turned around that fight at Dragon that set them up wonderfully. So I think giving Vulcan a little bit more tools than the Tam Kench is going to work out pretty well, especially with the Jinx gone. Now you can look for something at least that has a smidge more mobility for Danny, which lets Vulcan go for these more aggressive supports.
I actually really want to see the Senna now that we've been working on it here.
I've converted you. Love that champion.
Well, Danny was always a really
good.
big Senna and Seraphine bottom player even.
yeah?
So he has really loved the heal-oriented bottom lanes as well. So I know EG have some more options
I think
here.
Seraphine fits here too. She is a weaker bot lane than before. Ooh, wow, yeah. I mean, Zeri definitely is an option.
My screen
Yeah,
froze. I don't know
our
about you
screen
guys.
is, okay, we can look over there in the back wall behind where the teams used to sit, hovering the MF right now instead. And what will it actually be here? I mean, unfortunately, once you play pretty far back, you are still diveable by the Lysandra, but you can actively play at 1,000 range away. Yeah, MF Nautilus. MF's a very, very good laner. You have very good teammate follow-up, and you can play out of range of most engaged tools and still participate.
And a great answer to the Xayah as well. Xayah really struggles in lane against this, and also just her ability to try and play team fights with the make it rain, the slow, means she can struggle to get in and kind of manipulate those fights so she's able to stay in range. So a really nice pick here for Danny, and if you can set this up right, the wombo combo that she got for EG could be super nice.
Exactly. That's what I was going to point out, because the short trades are so good for Misfortune. You're able to get off your double left, especially if you're able to maneuver around the minions, get good poke damage on the Xayah early. The Braum does make the all-in more difficult, and of course there is heavy dive showing on EG. Braum is always a magnificent pick into heavy dive, and the Unbreakable can put a stop to the Misfortune ultimate, protecting a lot of your teammates. It's still, Braum actually takes significant damage even with that up, though.
So while Braum is a good pick, it does not fit the Ming playstyle. He has 52 games on Braum, to be clear. There's a lot of sample here. It is lower win rate than every other champion in his top 15 all time. It is not a Ming champion.
He definitely is a huge part of a lot of the RNG plays where he's starting them out. So it puts more pressure on Wei and Xiaohu, who have very capable engaged champions. But it does mean those players need to be the ones with the initiation, because to your point, Braum is very much follow-up.
It's 11% lower win rate than his average across his career.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's why I'd be a little bit worried if it was just the Braum there, and I was like, all right, now we're kind of losing our engaged tools. Because I always get nervous when it's Wei who has to be the decision maker on these, but I think with Xiaohu being there, we should be all right. That's where I'm actually looking to go, all right, he's going to be the one calling the shots.
Xiaohu has definitely been flexing his brain in this matchup thus far. Really, really good manipulation of vision control for him and his team. We'll see if that is enough. EG definitely fighting back so much stronger in the previous game, winning a bunch of team fights, big individual plays as well, but it wasn't enough. This time around, small tweaks to the draft I think are very good ones. Will it be enough, though?
Will it be enough? On to the Rift we are for Game 3. Is this the end? Is this the end of evil geniuses at MSI, or do they pull one back here in Game 3?
Yeah, or is it the beginning of the reverse sweep?
Yes.
I'm huffing the hopium. Tastes good.
I was wondering what that tank that rolled past.
Yeah. All right, I believe. Here we go. In Judgment Penalty Trust. Spellbook for Ming, by the way, as you had pointed out, Dagda. Exciting.
Yeah. I always get interested to see what Ming can do with these, because we've had it in seasons past where he's taken TP, roamed up secretly to topside, and all these kind of pesky shenanigans. So I always get excited, and even just from smite games and everything like that, as we start to progress on, you have to keep your eyes on what Ming has as that summoner spell.
Also, the double cleanses for both JoJo and Danny here should free them up in some of these team fights.
Yeah, JoJo ran it in the previous game, obviously up against Lysandra, and now without a Tahm Kench, Danny switches off from heal to this one to do the same thing. Trinket's going to be up at the same time, basically for both of these players who dropped early wards down. It's both jungler and support for both teams. Early ward into sweeper. Again, timing is awkward. It comes up as the jungle camp spawn, so you do lose camp DPS in order to kill the ward, but it is a bit of extra golden XP if you do it. Smite's red, that's correct.
Yeah, interesting. He's headed towards topside again as well. This has been a tendency for Inspired. Skip the Krugs and then wrap back around later for the reverse clear. Topside matchup last time around, Bin was trading so heavily early on that I would say both mid and top in the exact same matchups in the last game were more volatile, even just 2 minutes into the game. So slightly less trading does also alter jungle options.
Ming takes some pretty good hits right there.
I also think just on RNG side, right? If we look at them as how they've played out these games, throughout MSI. It's been a case of, hey, we can start to roam, look for plays in side lanes, is Ming going to step up aggressively, but you don't really have a ton of options to help set up Xiaohu on roams because you've got Ming on Braum, because you've got a Gangplank in the top lane. So I certainly think if EG can end up matching some of these early plays, they can turn them around super effectively.
And the first adaptation we already see here, Impact backed up a little bit further. He did not have to flash this time around to the level 2 force by Bin, but Bin still went with the same game plan. Forces level 2, uses level 2 advantage, walk at Impact, chunk him out, get him under turret. Last time around, RNG also had the exact same ward timings. These two wards predicting and covering the top side of the map up through the river here were the exact same two they had last time around to basically protect themselves versus Inspired. And since he's done the same route, it will again lead to Wei in top river, looking for that
Flash Ignite, they're going in for Gala. Cleanse to get away from the slows, not gonna find the kill. Vulcan could die, the flash follow! Gala needs to die, they're gonna trade it back, but support is when he gets the kill, but Danny has no way out. He's got no summoners, he's an auto from dead, the flash to follow. Ming's gonna block him off, a double kill! Ming!
And they try so hard to get that play in the bot side, but to fall to RNG and Wei, maybe looking for a little bit more on top side, but that was so close for EG.
You're telling me this Braum doesn't win games? It's not his fault. He's got 3 double kills. Freak bloodthirsty Ming takes him down. Honestly, though, this EG team was very outspoken. Oh my god, we're about to go into a live gank on mid. But bottom side, this EG team has been so outspoken about playing without fear. You know, playing against RNG up here at MSI, big stakes for them. And this is no fear shown from the bottom lane.
Down, they
go for the all-on. Exactly, Freak, the timing there working out. And Vulcan, he timed his hook while the stun came in. So he even made up for some of that duration of getting stunned by having the animation of the hook go out and still getting pulled in. It was pretty well played by him for the all-in. But of course, then Danny is stuck right next to the Braum with the stacks already on him, and they go for the 2 kills. But that is to their endeavors playing without fear versus RNG, the defending MSI champs.
Yeah, there's just so many minions there as well that end up doing so much work in favor of RNG. So it was a nice attempt, but just unfortunate with where the minion wave was, that they're taking a brunt of that damage from, I think it was like 6 caster minions that were there on that bot side. So at least we're seeing EG, I mean, making these plays, especially when you're 2-0 down, you still want to have that confidence to make them happen.
The damage that coming out of Impact as Ben trades back. Obviously, first strike not coming through when you take damage first. And the wave just gets pushed in. Pretty big CS lead for Bin, though there is still some to farm. Impact wants to hold the lane. Bin wants to recall. He should be on Sheen money, so he really wants to take the recall and TP back. But if Impact can kind of keep Min here where he's not down Sheen, because he's crafted items, right? He's okay. He's TP'd anyway.
Yeah.
The longer this goes on, the slightly better it is for Impact.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of looks like, oh, you're going to take a lot of damage there, but mana bar is really important with Gangplank. And since Ben is so low on mana, Impact felt comfortable. I can tank this minion damage. To your point, I'll take less damage because he doesn't have the Sheen recall just by taking this minion damage and trying to keep it there. So
he's about a full wave, right? It's the old recall. It's the old TP, right? It's the one that goes to the tower's own lead. Decent damage to Jojo Pin here. Nice root. Nice side step for the charm there as well. Wei wants to come in. There's a stun. Good cleanse, but Jojo Pin barely staying alive. Has to flash to stay in there. Ming tries to the steel chair. Will not find his 3rd kill.
No, not quite able to make it stick. Jojo Pyun just about able to get out of there with the cleanse and flash, and that's why it is such an important summoner spell to have against the Lissandra, just about keeping Jojo Pyun alive.
And again, these moments where Xiaohu is kind of masterminding and communicating these timings, he's pushing heavier on that wave. He knows Jojo will hit level 6, and so he's trying to abuse his level 6 advantage on Lissandra well to the level 5 Ahri, and they get both summoner spells out of it. He calls both jungle and support to roam there to abuse the level 6 Lissandra, gets it off. It's a very short cooldown, and we'll see if they can repeat anything off of those summoner spells advantage that they got from the double roam.
And even if they don't get to repeat in mid, right, it gives a ton of control to Xiaohu in that mid lane where he can now push because Jojo Pyun has to play a little bit safer, and then he can start to look for these side lane plays because, as you can see, already over halfway back off this cooldown on the ultimate. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking to see if they can try and make some plays down towards the bot side, maybe turn that into a dragon as well.
Yeah, a couple of nice double ups there out of Danny. Teamfight tactics expert as far as we can tell. Good 2-on-2, and holding on about an 8 CS lead as the minions thin out in that bottom lane, trading the kill for the assists and whatnot. Pretty close game. RNG though still ahead.
I was kind of wondering if there would be a response play from EG, because of course Jojo then knows Xiaohu's ultimate is down, but they're just keeping the wave in mid there and Inspired not heading over, so don't think there's going to be an attempt to punish the ultless Lissandra.
Nice Blow a couple of shots there and then the shield.
Yeah, I think though Ming and Gal are doing a really good job of trying to hold this wave in front of the tower. You've Xiaohu here is going to pick up blue buff, so always an option to maybe look to go down, but the wave and bot will actually crash, so RNG will just end up backing away.
Here we go. A 9 CS difference. The recalls come in. We are on the Noon Quiver. Pretty solid recall. Should be the same for Gala. Even though Danny got a kill, the 2 assists are worth as much gold, so Gala should feel pretty comfy and should be on Noon Quiver himself on this.
Yeah. I mean, all right, let's see if we have an interaction here. The cooldown for Lissandra ult is very short, so has come back up. Xiaohu, again, waiting in the fog of war, waiting for EG to come to him, but Inspired and JoJo not going to overextend until Vulcan gets there. The support roam timing is critical. Ming also arriving in mid lane, though, so everybody's here for the party. All 10 members at Rift Herald spawn.
Yep.
Let's get ready.
All right, got ourselves a real team fight. Joji-Pun, no summoners. Xiaohu.
Watch the Braum Unbreakable to break the Ornn ultimate as well. That's another critical ability that Ming can.
Yeah. MF, yeah, every AD carry, every bot laner, bot and support, not level 6 right here, so only 3 ults available, and ultimately you can see, yeah, this is not the play because everyone showed up, realizing, okay, Ming is here, Gala's here, Jojo can try. He has ult to get away, but could get locked down by Xiaohu. Flash ult will probably seal his demise, not going to make the play.
Yeah, Danny's also just so separated from the team, right? Everyone else on EG on that top side, Danny trying to push that wave mid, so he will get at least a little bit of CS advantage for himself. Now they have to move down and try and get a push on the bot side as well, but EG, unlike the last game, aren't actually able to try and trade this for Dragon or presence on the map because they invested so many resources top.
Dive towards Bin, ult's coming across, they're going to flash get ready for the first knockup, TP to follow now as well. Way's on the way over, be careful, Jojo-Pun dives into the backline, will not find the charm. Ming's already here, they're going to find that kill and an impact, he will not survive this encounter. RNG onto their 3rd kill of the game, and EG scattered to the winds, trying to stay alive. Jojo-Pun may have to execute. Recall, I think he's on vision. No, he's not. Blind Q.
Oh, he's not gone.
He's going to get caught out there. That's going to be a kill. Well done to RNG. They catch the man. They're going to find their 4th.
And this is why we're saying, look at that Unseen Spellbook for Ming. Gets the TP, moves up to the top side, covers Bin. And that's why it's so smart to see Ming taking this rune in this match.
Yeah, it's a cheeky little attempt there from EG, trying to catch RNG on their recalls. But Bin, with his flash, buys enough time for the rest of the team to get there. As you mentioned, he's going to switch over. Spellbook teleport comes in. Wei rotating up to the top side of the map. And Bin goes to play in the minions. Then the charm there, he was throwing it at Wei, doesn't get it, gets it onto the minion. And as soon as EG see this counter from RNG, it's a scramble. Everybody just trying to escape. Every person for yourself, try and get out of there. And trying to skip their lives, but eventually they find him.
Yeah, Wei's knockup as well, even interrupting Impact from being able to get on top of Bin, get the knockup and probably find the kills. So close in finding those plays on top side, but now they find themselves about 1,000 gold behind, 3 kills in advantage of RNG, and once more EG are fighting from behind.
And again, as we approach the team fight phase here, with the Dragons becoming the next focus of this game, and we kind of refocus on the bottom side of the map, Ming on Braum as the last pick just breaks so many things that EG want to do. Break the Ornn ultimate in half when the second one comes through. You can break the Misfortune ultimate. I mean, he definitely has the possibilities, of putting to stop basically the EG team fight before it even starts. So his positioning is critical. Doesn't look like EG even want to contest Dragon #1 here. I think that's wise, as the top Endeavors got them so far behind and they have no vision.
It's interesting to see the build coming through from Danny as well because of that, right? Like, traditionally you'd see the Eclipse coming through, going for that full lethality, trying to just one-shot people with the ultimate, but realizing, hey, look, with this Braum pick in the mix, I'm not going to be able to get those big ultimates off, so trying to go more for this on-hit build, having the Gale Force to reposition from some of the engage tools from RNG, so we'll have to see if Danny can step up massively in these fights, because at the moment, he's the one lifesaver for EG.
He's got the most gold in the game last I saw. He had crested over 4,000. We saw the Massacre of Mystic. He was the first one on a pretty early Gale Force, the one that you're describing here. So as far as if we're going to keep the EG Hopium trend going, yes, of course, they're, down 0-2 and losing. But the way they won the LCS finals and the whole playoff run was, hey, it's a tough game, but Danny's the big one. He's the guy who's ahead and would carry them in team fights. So that part of the playbook is okay for them, but RNG, I feel like we're about to hit mid-game and they're just going to turn up the tempo massively.
Yep. My favorite part about Misfortune is the strut, actually, for these rotations. When Rift Herald rotations are so prominent, being able to get back to lane and get the extra minions, too. So we'll see if the rotation becomes big, because Fog of War toggled right now does signal EG have no idea. RNG completely overloading this mid, dropping off Herald to go for the invade on red side.
Yep, plates 2 and 3 off the mid lane, shared between Wei and Xiaohu, looking for number 4. They'll see if they can get more of that one going. Ming, tanky enough, actually able to walk away from Inspired here pretty safely. Xiaohu's putting his shots into the turret once that plate.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see the amount of resources they're giving Xiaohu, though, right? Because traditionally, when you kind of look at this, you go, but Xiaohu isn't going to be the big damage dealer in fights, right? You're looking more at Bin and at Gala. So obviously, they're looking at this and going, hey, we want to try and crack open this mid lane turret so we can create this long lane push in the mid and then unlock Xiaohu to try and play towards these sides and continue getting these towers down in favor of RNG.
Exactly. They're trying to help him deal with the unrelenting pressure of the 17-year-old JoJo. No, honestly, unlocking mid lane so that you can get to go do those roams is still, the trend that we're looking for here, because RNG benefits so much from the flanking Lissandra positions. EG trying to use this moment off the push-in on the wave on bottom side to go regain some of that vision.
And a good way to get those roams to happen is to either remove your opponent's wards so they can't see you, or put your own down for TP so you can scare prize!
Hey, he did it!
We did it! Opponents on the Rift. The graphics package is here. Grab your exclusive scare prize prime. Give me emotes. You can strut when you flash in or TP in and turn a fight and crush the opposition. Beautiful thing to see. Look at that. I want on every player.
I still wish that had a noise, though. That's the one thing I want about that graphic, just to be like, really scare you. Yeah,
I mean, literally just use party fiddlesticks.
True, yeah.
Ultimate noise. Like, it's so good.
Oh, look for the play right now. Finding the root, though. Big damage, trading it back around, though. Sun's going to come across. Double knockup. JoJo running for his life, but away gets the stick and takes him down. Will there be a re-engage? A flash for Vulcan. No easy way out for Shadow. The stun. There's Sealed over the top, and they're just burning through the health bars. It's bullet time, baby, and EG come up with 2.
Ooh, the flashes for the counter kills. They're Inspired jumping through. They get the one onto Xiao, who pick his body up, and now see if they can transition it into an objective. Scuttle Crab here may be contested by Bin, but they still have the Gatekeeper up there. Impact, he'll come down off the wave and ensure that they can actually start it up without being harassed.
This was such a smart play from EG, right? Though, I mean, Kobe had already kind of highlighted the strut, but EG being able to rotate Daniel, play with their strongest point of the map, and shut down where RNG have been putting all these resources means they get such a big turnaround, including this Rift Herald.
One more eye.
He has Big Smite.
It popped open.
Wow. He could solo kill us right now. He needs it. Oh, that was beautiful. Yes, 1200. Yeah. Q kills it away. If Inspire chose to die for Herald, he would have gotten it, but now a knock up towards Ben. But only a bit of damage. No one else is here. Impact cannot make this fight happen. He's got Flash if he needs it, but he's able to walk away. Spellbook Ghost, I believe.
Exactly. Spellbook, the savior. That's the
quickest sorry I've ever seen.
All right. Well, unfortunate. That last eyeball pop, if Inspired, could have gotten positioning on the backside to pop the eyeball, combine it with Smite, it would have died, but positioning that way would have meant his life. And RNG slip in to take those rewards. It is just Rift Herald number 2, not quite as valuable as Rift Herald number 1, but for this comp here, for RNG, that want to open up the lane so they can roam around, use Gangplank Ultimate and all these flanks from Xiaohu, it actually does mean a lot to take down outer turrets, so then you can actually use that Fog of War, use that vision advantage once again.
Also critically gives you this right as Dragon is about to spawn as well. So Xiaohu has it in the mid lane. He says, thank you very much. We're going to look for this mid lane tower and get that priority to fall back into Dragon while keeping all the vision control you have, as Bin is able to get one for himself in the top lane as well.
Down 3,000 gold lead now. Can't be spent just yet unless he's able to recall and then walk his way down. But second Dragon going to be uncontested. Danny, flashes, trades the guild, force ults him across. And here comes Ming for a bit more. Cleanse get away. Anchor's not quick going to land. A great sidestep by the RNG support. With the flash ult, that's going to be a kill. Danny goes down. And a root, he saves the cooldown. Vulcan Zonia's is to buy some time, but will he die anyway? He's about to be stunned. Anchor's into the wall. And the stopwatch means nothing as RNG stops and watch him die.
And Danny was so close. The good flash there to try and take down Gala, but there was just too many members of RNG in the vicinity. Xiaohu able to come over the wall, and it just looks like maybe a panic cleanse coming through from Danny as well meant he didn't have it available when Xiaohu got on top of him.
Xiaohu and Wei too quick on the roam. They were moving to the AD carry fight before EG was, and that was all the difference. Means Gala finishes up the outer tower. They get the second Rift Herald charge, and getting 2 is so big. That's another 800 gold picked up.
3 towers killed within about a minute of each other, plus the second Drake. RNG just owned the game now. Over the last 2 minutes, they have crushed this game.
And now bounties are back as well for EG. RNG have been putting their foot completely down on this game, making sure that they can try and push this to the 3-0. I mean, from EG, they're trying so desperately to make these plays, but it's just not working out. You can see here for Danny, like, this is so good from him.
And, but look at the mini-map. So, like, Danny, yeah, he's performing really well in this 1v1, but a big part of the reason Gala takes that 1v1 is because he knows Xiaohu has a good half-screen lead on the rotation down, and so then he's like, nice moves, young guns, because I've got a mid laner, and they roam him down. To Freak's point as well, that was 3 objectives picked up by RNG in the span of 1.5 minutes. Dragon, plus the extra kills, plus the 2 towers.
Yeah. And if you got topside, even a third one, because Ben sold that one. He wasn't part of that fight, but that whole bot side was just a crush. So RNG looking just amazing right now. And hey, the expectation was a 3-0. The question was, how competitive would EG make it look? Game 2 was real close. Game 3 close for a bit. Hey, a big comeback? Certainly possible, sure. But RNG, as now the tournament favorites, are looking to make it all right. Who we got in the finals?
Yeah, and I mean, look, for EG, you could find this big team fight where you get the perfect scenario. You know, Impact with the knock-up, Danny with the mega ult, and maybe, just maybe, you can do it. But it does require you to get Ming out of the equation. But we have to see if EG can try and get those dominoes in place to knock them down.
Clear mid lane wave. Mid lane turret will stay alive. The last outer not yet slain by Royal Never Give Up. As they look for their 3rd MSI trophy. Xiaohu been there for every single one of them. He's already won his mid laner. He's won a top laner. He'll go back to mid. Does that count as a 3rd role? I don't know. But
No. I do know I'm going to make a ruling here. Exactly. You have my back.
No, I'm with that. Yeah, just
at least
2.
they're not consecutively the same role. You know, okay. Ming going to find himself a nice knock-up there. 1v3. Here comes the reinforcements, though. It's going to be enough, though, as Inspired's around. Pushed around. Ming stays alive. The assassination
TP in behind.
Gets it. TP flank. Huge, deep one. I think Xiaohu coming around. He's got Bin there as well. No way out. EG, even the Hex Gates are here to hem them in. 4 men live, but not for long. When's the fight going to start? Bin anchored in. Here comes the Ornhorn as well. Looks for Gala. Ults it to immune. Vulcan should die. Flash over for Impact. Wants to kill one, but he's not going to get much except his own death. Flashes in for the death. And that's going to be 3 unanswered kills. EG still running for their lives. Danny has extra move speed. Bin might get in range for him. Strut like you've never struck before, Danny. Jojo gets a charm to buy some time. Flash! Q's gonna kill. Yes, indeed, it will. Bin finds the 4th of the fight. Inspired's already respawned.
And you can see what EG are thinking, right? RNG have already committed resources in towards the top side jungle. That's where all their vision is. If EG can try and play around that, maybe look for a pick, get the tempo back in their favor, then they can try and set up for Dragon and find that miracle play that they're looking for. But unfortunately, they don't quite get it in time. Not enough damage to try and take down Ming, who stays alive so long, and it means that the rest of RNG can TP in and get themselves into this fight.
Oh, wait, that's
the
so
charged up stun miss goes right through the air as well. They can't burst him down.
Yeah.
Oh, that bit of damage there. That is the kill.
That fight looks different.
Yeah,
if he gets that.
It completely does. I mean, that's the kill swift through their fingers. That could have been 5 members of EG and only 4 of RNG left, and then all of a sudden the double TP trap is a completely different story. But, you know, to your point, countering the play inside jungle, and then once you don't get it, no hesitation. Double TP comes out, they trap the rest of the EG, and they get the most out of it.
Oh, that is so heartbreaking, especially if you manage to get the Braum in that equation as well, providing that CC. Like, genuinely, like, the reason Viego can sometimes be so oppressive in fights is, like, stealing these mega supports that have the engages, and might need to see it again here.
Yeah, I mean, you get 3 new cooldowns to press, right? Like,
exactly.
Actually, it resets your ultimate. So you get 4 new cooldowns to press every take. Like, it's really meaningful, but unfortunately, Inspired flubs the play. Maybe would have been the turning play of this game. Maybe they still lose anyway, but now at a 9,000 gold lead, you know RNG. You're like, well, looking like a 3-0. Make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, dig the graves, put him in it. And now with the 3rd Dragon, do we want to win with Hexal? Do we want to win with Baron? Do you want to win with Pure Sieging? Any option they want.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Inclusive or.
I want to say, though, like, for EG, like, the fact that these guys have been growing over the course of the tournament, even if it is a 3-0 here for RNG, like, these guys have done absolutely incredible. Like, you can see them even from group stage into rumble stage, how much, well, to use the pun, is like taking notes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you can genuinely see how much they've improved, and I'm super excited to see, especially when you've got young players like Jojo, Pyun, and Danny, what this international experience can do for their careers, because oftentimes it just gives you that rocket and gives you that motivation to kind of pop off later on, and I'm hoping we'll see something similar like what happened with Perks back in the day as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, G2's start to international play was like a lot of really bad results until then they won MSI and went to World Finals. I will say though, speaking of G2, I am less impressed with RNG because they can 5-0 EG, but G2 6-0'd them, right? So like until you win another one, I just don't really believe it, you know? You think you need to cement it with Game 6, and they're too afraid.
Yeah, RNG impressive in their own rights.
Yeah.
Here at MSI especially. Well, let's see about this play though.
Oh, that's a nice charm. That is double stun as well. That's a lot of damage, but Wei's able to walk out. Locket buys a lot of time as well, and Ming he won't even die. You gotta be kidding me. It's a 4 versus 2, and they live. The Naka goes for Wei. They will maybe kill him finally. Naka's gonna land, they get one. And hey, a Wukong. That's a big upgrade in stats and items. They're gonna try now for a Baron. Keep in mind, no smite unless Ming's spellbook's over.
Yet there was so much used by RNG though.
He's kidding me! Jojo! Gala had everything up and he gets assassinated. So Baron is the attempt here. 3 versus 5.
Miss one charm to give them false hope. That's all it was for Jojo. Now they're in front of the Baron.
3K, you gotta make sure you land the smite. It was stolen last time. Shahu dives in. Early smite required. Who's gonna claim it? 1 kill. Viego gets it. He gets the Baron. Kill number 3. Kill number 4. And Evil Geniuses. The top river. The Baron. It belongs to the LCS champions.
They're back, baby! Evil Geniuses! They're back on top. The Baron is theirs in the life of NA. Again, seething through this river. The charm onto Wukong to start it off. Jojo from over the wall. Then they chase him down. Really though, after Ming gets Wei goes back in. I think some miscommunication on RNG's fault. And then they get the burst so they can start the coveted Baron.
And this is why I said I get worried when I see Wei on these engaged champs, because sometimes he's not quite on the same page.
Watch
but
Jojo.
Here, it's so impressive. Jojo, 2 charms, 2 kills, and now the Baron back in the hands of Evil Geniuses. Can they push it to the game 4 with this?
Huge stuff. Xiaohu flashes in. They try and burst down Inspired, and they get his smite out, but then there's no damage left for RNG, and so Inspired, he sees this Baron going down. 260 health there. After they get their kills onto the RNG members, they can then turn towards it. Those are 2 low damage RNG members, so they still get the Baron. That is an objective bounty shutdown, my friends.
Yeah, that is like over 2,000 gold from kills. That is over 2,000 gold from Baron itself, and the gold lead is down to 2K.
This is the Evil Geniuses way, the heart attack way. This is how they win games. They go to these objectives.
How do you keep it? Jesus.
They win team
It's an
fights.
exciting season in the LCS.
Yeah. It truly was. I mean, the playoffs was just a completely different story for this team. During the regular season of LCS, Evil Geniuses were mediocre. They only beat teams below them. And yet they became a new squad so crazy in playoffs, 3-0ing after 3-0ing after 3-0ing, and so many of these comeback fights.
I mean, look, 5,000 Red Bull Baron power play for EG, but now becomes the real test, right? A minute until this next dragon. They've done it once, they have to do it again. And you can see Jojo Pyun getting control over mid. Having this Baron is going to give them a lot of presence here to try and get this priority to move into river. But look at Xiaohu pushing in this bot lane. Once more, using that fog of war from the last game.
Exactly. To me, the biggest learnings, the notes that they needed to take off game 2 were the vision game. It was manipulated by RNG over and over so well. This time around though, EG, see what they can do as far as their setup for Dragon. 37 seconds. This is the timing that you need to rotate over, clear out your control wards, ensure that RNG can't bait you into Brush, because Gangplank is level 16. Those barrel chains from Fog of War, from Brush, will be deadly. EG trying to get their vision first.
Yep. And of course, RNG greedily covering their side of it as well, right? You do not own their side of the jungle at all. It's the river that's going kind of back and forth right
down.
here.
Whenever that cooldown is down for Ming, Impact knows that he actually can get an ultimate off. Those windows are huge.
Same with Danny. That would be such a big timing window for that 1-2 punch. Even the charms from Jojo Pyun. Now RNG trying to squeeze through this corridor.
And they don't have to fight it. Giving away 1 Drake doesn't mean a whole lot. They lock down away. There's Dragon secured. No soul, but how about the team fight? Dunk comes across. Big ulti for Danny, but already 1 and 2 are dead. And EG had signs of life, and they've been short with the trade back on a Gala who had heal and didn't burn it. But the team fight is 3-1. Soul delayed, but RNG picked up 2 more kills.
Now they have to try and defend the base as well. They got the Dragon, they delayed the Soul, but what can they do about trying to hold on to their base? Xiaohu trying to push in bot side, but with the death timers, it looks like they should be up in time to defend their base.
Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty good bait from Wei. He jumps in as Wukong and then just leaves his clone there for the initiation. And we'll look at the focus because Ming does hold his Unbreakable for the Misfortune ultimate, and that saves lives on the side of RNG. Wei goes in, his clone gets knocked up, Ming gets knocked up on the front, and then here, Danny opens up, would be a huge ult, but Ming moves up, blocks it for Gala, and Xiaohu on the outside. Wei finishes up the front line, so they get the kill on the 2 EG frontliners, while Ming is blocking almost all of that Misfortune ultimate. It allows RNG such an advantage in frontline. But then, the double up bounces through, he gets the kill. Danny at least takes 1, and the execution damage of the Gale Force choice there does mean.
Oh, stops the ulti, only a slow. That one Gal's gonna be safe here. Now Jojo-kun in danger, cleanses, ults, and not gonna matter. Wei shuts him down. RNG 5,000 gold lead.
Ming's glacial fissures in these fights have been so impactful. It keeps EG wrapped in towards the Dragon Pit, and there it prevents Jojo-kun from being able to follow up. Now RNG pushing down mid lane.
Clearing the mid lane wave, Impact will stay alive. It will keep the mid lane turret alive for now. Inspired does a walk away. We shouldn't kill him, but it will be some pretty good damage. Actually, that might be enough now. He can get a stun. That's going to be a GA burned, and that makes it pretty easy to get Inspired next time. Now, can he live? Ulti is up, flash in a second. Reinforcements are enough, though it's 5v4 in the map. Inspired walks away.
Xiaohu sitting in the bush here. He's been waiting here for the whole time, waiting for them to defend the mid.
Yeah, ulti's gonna come across Danny, but a cleanse, flash, stay alive. Wei will not catch him. But how about the rest? As Zaya comes in, Impact flashing, will not die, but another summoner is down.
Yeah, good defense there from EG. They evade death. Still the tower given up. RNG take a lot off of that failed play mid from Evil Genius. Jojo is going for the hero play there onto Gala. Couldn't quite get around those minions. And a really good counter engage, as you mentioned, from Ming. Sets them up. RNG taking multiple.
The defense, though, hurts EG. It's 3 flashes burned on their side for 2 of RNG's. The attempt to go for it, very smart. Mid lane tier 2 dies anyway. EG slightly were playing their hand, lose more than they needed to.
And again, you can already see RNG are thinking 2 minutes ahead. Smite for, for the Baron, Smite for Baron for Ming.
Yep.
You've got the exhaust there as well, trying to deny Jojo-kun and Inspired the resets in the back of these fights. And we've got to see now if EG can try and get control over this again. Ming has been so crucial in these fights at denying EG their chances.
Now we walk up yet again. Impact, not yet seen by the sweeper, but RNG gonna get rid of the vision. Now they'll know Inspired is around. As Xiaohu jumps over the wall, that is roughly knowable. And they are kind of aware, he hits the Scryer's Bloom now as well. Says, okay, I'm not in any wards, cool, my flank is gonna be even easier. May E this wall, will walk through wards when doing so. They know that control ward's there. Sidesteps one, sees the other though, and EG's like, ah, okay, that's Xiaohu behind us with an ulti. Not a play we like.
Again, remember, marking Xiaohu and Wei, 2 of the critical members getting in here. Those are the engage components you have to control for.
I like
Spell
that one.
shield is down.
I like the stun into smite midair, because if he misses the E or mistimes it, he's like, oh, I'm safe. You can stun, get a lot of damage down, and you can force Xiaohu to maybe have to take a walk back from base. Impact still creating items. This would be his 3rd, I believe, overall. 1 on him and 2 on teammates, as Divine Sunderer and Gale Force are upgraded, so Jojo-kun without one just yet.
Yeah, getting the spell shields off over and over is very big, because Xiaohu, without the flash for Lissandra, going to be a much less effective. Oh,
It's a clone, yeah.
So Bin is down in the spot side, which is why EG are like, cool, we can start to move in here, get control, because we're not walking into those big barrel combos, especially as you're looking at nearly full build for Bin. These barrels are going to hurt so much if EG walk into them.
EG are losing gold. Top and bot lane both got shoved in. Xiaohu safely pushed the top side recalls. They're actually just mostly focused on the Hextech Drake here, on the Soul. EG realized the same is kind of the play here. So Baron not going to be a serious focus right now. And even with that ace, even with that Baron picked up, RNG have come right back into taking control of this one. 5 turrets to 2. And this could be the climactic fight that sends EG home.
And this is where it gets so hard for EG, because you can just have one person of RNG solo out this Dragon if you want to, while you're keeping pressure on the rest of the Baron as well. But EG, as RNG start to collapse in towards the bottom side of the map, we'll have to try and figure out how they're going to try and approach this.
I don't know if they even are. So many EG members not by Dragon. It's 10 seconds away.
Yeah, they called to
Looks
give it.
like they're just giving it up again.
They say, well, we'll give you Dragon, and they're hoping that the chance at a better fight is later on in the game if they think they outscale maybe, but they said, well, we don't have vision, and we're probably not going to win that fight if we had vision, so okay, the chances of this play are very, very low. You outplayed us, check, you know, that goes to you. Obviously, the gold lead grows, or the advantage grows. Did you say this is not our best chance?
And now you just go back towards the Baron dance, right? RNG get mid-prio, they're going to move in, get established vision control, take out some of that vision. EG just try to establish themselves, and with impact in the bot lane, looks like RNG is going to start this one up.
Not the best tools for checking it. One ward in the brush will not even quite spot Gala, so they don't know if anyone's in the pit. Now they see Gala walked away, so they're pretty safe with this one. Jojo, wait, the wings, Bin pushes in top, another glimpse. MSI is up there. Blue Trinket is really nice. Because, yep, they are indeed playing the trap in that brush. Rest of them in Fog of War, though. Bin over here comes the hard engage. Shahu over the flank as well. Is this the fight that does it? Sealing the deal. Jojo and Danny running away, staying alive for a moment, but Vulcan, he's going to be left to kill. Now one goes back over, though. It's Inspired to the backline. He gets two. Going in for Shahu. He's got Azonias way on the wings. They might get him, and they will do so. Impact staying alive. Bin will drop. Way's clone. It's just Way against the world. He trades one back, but it's 3 alive for EG. 3 alive for EG. Can the barrel chains work? Now Way knows the GP even better. Mid-tier 2 or Baron could be the target.
They're going to turn for the Baron. Way does have his smite. No flash, but he can W over the wall.
Inspired and impacted so much in that fight to zero out the backline. Now smites it for everyone, but Way only has W to get in the pit.
He's not even going to try. He's stuck in the mid lane. So EG once again finding these miracle fights. They'll get the Baron. They'll get the bounties. Guys, are we going to a game 4? Is this it?
I'm living it. All right, here. This is what I want. Adrenaline pumping through my blood. My goodness. Keeping it interesting here. RNG with the soul, but EG with the Baron buff. Look at this team fight. Again, Shahu off screen had been able to slip around behind EG, and they chase both carries, but they lose sight of Inspired.
Yeah, and I think the team does just such a good job here, right? Both Jojo, Pion, and Danny have to back away. Ming is right in the backline trying to help, so you actually get to open up here as Danny with the bullet time, just trying to keep Bin at bay. And as you say, Impact and Inspired are running amok in the backline of RNG.
They just destroyed Gala there right off the back. Inspired went up, but it was a very early ultimate from Gala. As soon as he came back down from that, Inspired jumps on him, they get the reset kill, and he uses that Fed crit AD carry to take out his own teammates. Woo! Huge stuff there. This is why, again, you draft the melee carry in addition to the backline there for EG.
Red buff steal though for Gala feels pretty good. Still a 3,000 gold lead. I would say these stats of Baron roughly answer the stats of the Hextech Soul. So you've got to get the scoreboard actually accurate right now in terms of gold difference. And obviously the Baron at some point times out, and then it looks a little bit worse. Impact has upgraded JoJo's Mythic by now, and one more level till he can get Vulcan for that one. RNG, though, aware that they should probably just wait out this minute and 40 seconds left. The Red Bull Baron power play. Obviously, Baron itself was worth actually a solid, what would it be, 2,000 gold. It was just the 100 per person. It wasn't an upgraded bounty.
Yeah. I mean, plus we're also taking into account Ornn upgraded items. You know, Impact upgrading for everybody here almost.
Yeah, and you're looking at items as well. I mean, 6 items already there for Bin and also for Danny. So maxed out entirely on how strong they are going to be. Inspired, trying to see if he can play off Fog of War here, put the pressure on RNG.
100% crit Zai, by the way. Wait, okay. Yep, that is the red trinket spotting him out, but top turret will take meaningful damage. Good wave clear, but not enough just yet.
Impact going back to answer the Lissandra split push that Shahu is trying to get on bottom side.
Decent turret damage, but doesn't want to stick around too much if there is ever a TP flank. Or
he's gonna go for the pincer. They've got JoJo coming down from mid. He's over vision though.
Shahu has ult, Shahu has flash, Shahu has Azonias as well. He's gonna get rid of the Banshees. Gonna trade that back. Charm's not gonna land. He aggroes him to get him out of the Hex Gate, but the E over the wall is gonna be enough. Good damage, and JoJo will not ult to follow.
Well played by JoJo there, getting out the extra cooldown. Close.
Now, though, with everyone collapsing onto the bot side for EG, RNG will establish themselves once more in mid, try and get some vision control pushed in onto this top side of the map as well, and continue trying to play these side lanes. It feels like at the moment RNG a little bit timid after that last fight that EG were able to win, and don't want to just go for the straight up 5v5.
5v5 look pretty good, right? You've got enough scary targets to Braum shield that the Ornn's on one, the other's on the other, and you can't block everything, so that's what we saw worked pretty well for him. And as you had mentioned in Champs, like, yeah, the Braum himself will still take pretty meaningful damage. It is a full crit. MF ult does scale off crit chance. Not the full value that attacks do, but he has 100% crit chance. Danny's ult will do a lot of damage. His autos will all hit for like 800 before armor. Is a scary champion.
I'm assuming his Anathema's Chains is attached to Danny as well to try and further mitigate, but the brush play.
Scar's Bloom doesn't actually catch them. Ming walks away. He's like, okay, we know something's here. Impact takes damage, but he is the tank and he's armor stacked. Knows Lissandra will not target him, but a death cap is done for Lissandra. Cleanse forced out. A root onto 2. That's actually big damage. Gala's at a 1K. Will heal up a little bit, and he's wearing a red buff as well, so we'll actually just heavily regen this late in the game.
Yeah, has the Vamp Scepter there as well, so just trying to see if he can get up away. Spotted.
Almost a stun, would have been pretty good. Still a bit more damage coming across, though. Has to respect this one. Let's go to the ward, gets out.
Oh, this is so tense. I'm just waiting. It feels like with 20 seconds until...
Flashes.
Oh, wait.
Big stun comes across. Evac for impact. That is Lissandra ult down, but they go back in. Wade takes a chunk, then a 1500. Stays alive overall, but dropped low. Elder Dragon in 12 seconds. EG have won the team fight so far in this game. But will it be enough now? Bin, no barrel. TP in for impact. This might be the fight here. Nice little poke from Gala, hits Vulcan. Shield gonna be on cooldown. Herald, sorry, Scuttle claim. Xiaohu waiting the wings. Cleanse and flash up for everyone. Xiaohu no ult though. Not as big of a flank threat. Charm lands. Big damage on the Ming. Pulls him right back in. Gonna flash to safety. Big damage though. Impact getting low. Bullet time comes across to keep him alive. Huge gangplank ult though. And this might be a fight that EG can no longer take.
Yeah, there's so much damage done to Inspired and Impact. The front line for EG is too low.
He can in for it.
You gotta look at me.
Dragon to deal some damage. Bin may lose his GA. Huge damage here. Charm will not land. Ult comes across. Danny's gone. 1 for 0 going for the rest. Impact forced to run. And RNG smell blood in the water. Blood in the mid lane. Vulcan chased down. Xiaohu will get his second kill. No. Safety finally gets him down and Inspired. Running for his life. He'll drop as well. RNG had to work for it. Game 2 was a comeback. Game 3 was a slobber knocker. But now they will knock EG out of the tournament going for the base.
And the TP to the bot lane. They know that this is over. You've only got Jojo, Pyun, and Impact left against all members of RNG.
How do you build 20 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, they have to pull out a miracle to buy some time here.
Walks in to tank it. Impact and Jojo Pyun, oldest and youngest players of the tournament. 2v5 to hold the base alive. RNG dive in. A charm on the Xiaohu. Has a self-ult. Impact buys time. Zonias as well. Turret's firing. Gala trades back with the Zonias, but he'll kill Jojo Pyun.
Wait,
the charm
he
He gets one, and RNG turn tail to run.
The Elder Dragon's still up. They can still go towards it.
A flash in. Danny gets one, but only a clone. Wei is alive.
Never doubt NA at MSI! Can they do it again versus RNG? Can they track down Wei? He's so low.
Hexgate's out. Wei is low. He's not on any wards. They don't know for sure his health bar or how much time they've got to spend.
Track down Wei.
Track down Wei. Danny knows what's up. Danny walks fast, but he's not around. Inspired, leaving the base now. He still is not yet in the pit, but they should be able to secure the smite on El Dragon. It's got an objective bounty. Here's the Hexgate for Inspired. Careful though. You're in a 1v3. Trades with Bin, but it's only a Guardian Angel. He's gonna die for it. They're gonna trade the GA. Wei waiting around, but Elder will be claimed. Do they win the fight now? Ming, he gets back over the wall, stays alive. Wei has a GA, stays up as well. EG have Elder on 3.
And Baron is alive. Xiaohu and Gala's death timers will be up. It will be a 1 champion advantage for RNG, but the Elder Dragon execution and burn damage for Evil Geniuses. Inspired went down 35 seconds, the longest death timer.
They use so much in that fight, though. You don't have the ultimate for Danny. Jojo Pyun needs to wait as well. RNG going to try and just start this one up immediately before EG have those cooldowns available.
They've got the extra person advantage, no jungler for Evil Geniuses, so it will be
fast.
It will be Baron buff versus Elder Dragon buff. The Elder Dragon is shorter and was acquired earlier, so EG's buff will fall off first. RNG do secure their Baron buff to push on later with, but EG did what they wanted. They bought their time to survive in this game. And it is very much a long shot. But if you recall back to 2016, it was RNG by far favorites of the tournament versus CLG. And the biggest comeback in professional League of Legends history, a 17,000 gold lead RNG had with 3 inhibitors.
Yeah, Xiaohu was in there. Xiaohu was
there, Xiaohu
a mid laner
remembers.
during that tenure. We'll see if the young upstarts, and keep in mind it was Stixay, a rookie AD carry, replacing Doublelift, who was part of that roster. Danny, pretty much the same age Stixay was, 1 extra split to his tenure.
Some objective bounties being picked up here by EG.
5,000 gold difference to fair, which no longer really matters, as most people have capped out. There's probably 4,000 gold in Bin's inventory that he can't spend.
EG, though, getting a good amount of control over the map, right? So even though you do have 2 minutes left on RNG, if you can keep these waves shoved in as Evil Geniuses, it makes it so much harder for RNG to get a lot of value out of this ultimate. So it could just be a case, guys, that we're going to have a few more heart attacks in this game as we look for more neutral objective fights.
Elder timing out in 30. This will be the patience for Royal Never Give Up. And then they'll have about a minute 15. The Red Bull Baron power play where, well, they're still up a Dragon Soul. They're up overall itemization, and they'll be up that Baron buff. They can look to end the game. Bottom inhibitor already dead. Bot would be an easy push location. EG put some wards down. As they spot what's going on here, Jojo staying in the fog, looks for the play on the Ming, gets a charm. Would love to find that fight with 8 seconds left on Elder, but they do not find their way in. This will time out, and RNG will once again be the team winning on the Rift.
Start to see if they can get control over this mid lane. RNG waiting here. Impact on the side. They still want to look for this fight before the waves hit the base.
Our Where's Xiaohu game.
Yeah.
Spot the flanker. He's been so creative getting into brush, getting into flank positions behind Evil Geniuses.
Bot lane's pushing. A bad fight for EG instantly ends the game.
Oh, wait.
Here he is looking at Xiaohu, big damage. Oh, just deletes Jojo Kyun. And that might be all she wrote. Impact runs for the hills. 1 auto to stun him. 2k health left, but he will drop as well. Xiaohu can do no wrong. A bullet time is huge, but it will not find kills. 3v5 doesn't even happen. Re-engage for Wei. Vulcan should drop, and it's 2 against the world. Guardian Angel up. Wei might burn down, but he will not find the kills.
Inspired?
Ming low, but will not drop. GA still there, and he's going to trade back in. Inspired can't get him. GA down. Danny gets 1, but trades his life back out as Ben kills him. And is Inspired against the world, and the world is against Inspired. EG have been aced. The minions could do it by themselves. RNG beat Evil Geniuses 5 games in a row. RNG on their way to their 3rd MSI title. RNG in the finals.
RNG will be there to defend their MSI title against either T1 or G2, and in a dominant fashion, they 3-0 the North American representative.
As soon as those hopes start to bubble up, RNG squish them back down. Xiaohu with the blast cone of death. For the last laugh, blast cone's over. That burst damage onto Jojo. Full combo from Lissandra. The assassin Lissandra into the back line. What a pick to secure the victory for RNG.
But I think you can still be proud of that as Evil Geniuses. How close Game 3 became, how they pushed RNG in Game 2 as well. I mean, the LPL representatives definitely sweating against what Evil Geniuses were able to achieve here today.
They stayed true to themselves with their team fights, giving hope. So many critical individual plays coming up on some of those picks too. I'm definitely proud of the North American representatives, Evil Geniuses.
Yep, question is, how much will they grow over time? Because I do like this roster. I like the way they play the game. I like their ability to take fights. And you got a lot of players with barely any tenure, right? With not a lot of experience. Rookie split here, only 1 year in for Danny. And I want to see him keep going.
Meanwhile, we turn our sights towards RNG and their pathway to the top. Another MSI Finals.
Yeah, and I mean, look, going up against either T1 or G2, I think both teams going to be taking a look at this series and going, right, you can kind of see the game plan that can come through. If we can shut down Xiaohu, get him onto champions that maybe he's not as comfortable as, those late game team fights can go the way that you're hoping, but we're going to have to see who actually ends up facing off against RNG in that final spot.
You always have to track Xiaohu. Can't let him out of your sight for a second.
But that's the thing. They got sweepers, man. He and Ming running around, getting rid of all the vision. You can't keep him in your sights because they'll make sure he's in the fog of war. RNG, again, seem like the best team in the world, right? Best record of the group stage here, the Rumble stage.